Okay, I've got them all milled out and ready. I already installed one up here on the top. The other one, go right down here. Go ahead and get it installed. We'll be closer to start installing the scale. Alright. That's where the scale will go. I'll go get it. It'll end up being attached right here. Now, I've already cut it to length. They have you cut it. It comes to a certain length, and if you can use all of it, they recommend not to cut it. But it easily cut with a miter saw or any type of metal cutting blade to cut it. Also, it's aluminum, and it'll be attached right there. So I'll get set up, get this all cleaned up, and get set up, start getting that adjusted, and show you how I install that. Okay, now I got the scale installed and the reed head just temporary installed to take measurements. The scale only has these what they call grub screws in here that'll let you do a little bit of adjustment, but that's not very much. I just basically make sure that you got it good and plumb with the reed head. What I got to end up doing is got a pin gauge set, and ended up determining that 183 thousandths will fit in between this all the way up and down. I've checked it, and it's full travel, and the clearance that it calls for is basically 20 thousandths from the face of the reed head and the scale surface. So with this gauge pin going in and a good fit with 183 thousandths, and plus there's a total of 80 thousandths from this side edge down to the surface of the scale. Adding that together, subtracting the 20 thousandths from that for the clearance that you need for what they call for you to for it to operate right. I'll end up got to mill off the studs off of this plate where it'll go in. I got that written down as 243 thousandths. I got to take off the two studs to get this to come down and read right. Also, I've did a little bit of layout. I'm going to try to take, or I'm going to take some more of this material off to one, so it's not so bulky looking, and plus I can get back in here a little easier and adjust my stop on the quill. And also for the manual hand crank of the quill, right now will come a contact when the quill's up. It hits, but I'm going to take some of this down so I can still have access and to be able to use my hand crank. So we'll end up taking that off, and then we'll end up showing you. I'll show you how I end up doing that. First, I need to take the reed head off and set it aside. we'll get that out of the way and put it in a safe place. And take my hand crank off, get it out of the way. These are the spacers that I got to end up taking that amount off of. And I'll end up gonna clean some of this off. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to mill these and show you how I set that up and mill that amount off. Okay, I got the one of the standoffs installed in a little homemade V-block I got here. I've got my knee quill or the knee table dial set to 0. Brought my cutter down, it's sitting right on top. All I'll do is back off on the knee so it clears, like that out. And then I'm going to dial in the, there's a total of 243. I'm going to start by taking 100 off. See if it comes off alright. Cuts alright. Seems to be doing alright. I'll do another 100. Should be a total of 200. And then dial in the 43. Back that up and set back up for the next cut. Dial in 100. Another 100. total of 200. And 43 thousandths. And there the two ones are. I'll kind of deburr them just a little bit, and then we'll go back to install them back on. I'll bring you back when I got it installed. Well, I thought I'd bring you back when it's reinstalled, but I forgot I still got the mounting bracket that I need to mill down, shape down a little bit, take some of that excess material off I don't need. I'm going to end up going down 400 thousandths, taking this off, and then I'm going to turn it around on these angles and cut those angles off, put an angle on it. So I'm going to be taking 100 thousandths pass each until I get down to 400. And I'm using a power feed. Figure if I got it, why not? And I'm using a 1/2 inch 2 flute end mill. High-speed steel. Bring it up another 100 thousandths. Another 100. last 100,000, and this would be the final pass for the link. And then I'll deburr the edges. Most of that's going to be cut away, but deburr it so it'll sit down in the vise good. And I'm just basically using a parallel and just lining it up with the scribe marks I just made. This is not very critical. Just basically putting a 45 on it, and I'll just mill down to that scribe mark. And I'll be taking 100,000ths pass on each pass until I get closer to the scribe mark. I'm just hand feeding now, no more than I'm starting off with. Switch this other side so I'm not in the way of the camera. Well, looks like I got about 75 thousandths. Pretty good. Like I said, it's not real critical as long as I get it close. Just basically getting rid of excess that I don't need. So basically I'll take that out and do the other angle. I won't show it. It'll be basically the same thing that you're seeing here. And I'll bring you back when I've got it installed. Okay, I got it finished milled out. You can see here where I did the 45s, and I end up taking some off at the end, so that gives me room. Now, I can't take the wheel off. Well, I can take it off right there, but if it's right in the middle, I can't take it off, but I can move it up or down to be able to get my hand crank off. But if I bring it down here where it's centered, it's still clear. So that's a good fit. I like how that turned out. It's all tightened in. I already got the reader head installed, and it's adjusted with the clearance it's supposed to have. Also the travel going all the way down, all the lines, and it all looks good. So the Quill DRO reader portion is complete. Next thing I'll start on is installing the scale on the x-axis behind the table, and when I get set up and ready to start doing that, I'll show you how to do that. I'll see you in a little while.